Today's episode is inspired from my Self-Care Society class titled Focused for Now and Forever. So we're going to be looking at how we can feel more focused in our life. Now, before we jump in, I want to let you know, speaking of being focused, that we recently launched our 6th U-Year program, and it's unlike anything we've done before. While many choose to do the U-Year program at the start of the new year, it's also the perfect way to kick off a new birthday, a life transition, or really any time that you're looking for a fresh start. You'll gain lifetime access, so grab it now and dig in at any time. If you love the idea of creating an inspiring, realistic, and exciting annual plan for the year ahead, as well as creating the systems to truly live it out, U-Year will help you do all that and more. Learn more at selfcaresociety.co. All right. For now, we are going to be looking at how we feel focused in our life. And we're going to start with a quote from Cal Newport. It's a great book called Deep Work. So if you're looking for a little bit more focus, it's a good one. And he says, who you are, what you think, feel, and do, what you love, is the sum of what you focus on. Ain't that the truth? And hey, let's just celebrate you because you're here listening or watching this episode and you're focusing on positive shifts and positive feelings and positive mindsets in your life. So I'm just going to celebrate you real quick. And I hope you can find a moment to celebrate yourself as we look into the idea of focus. And I know focus is like a common conversation these days because our focus is pulled in so many directions. So I really hope that you're going to leave this episode, this session together with some tools and answering some questions that really help you, find solution for that. Okay. So the dictionary, how does the dictionary define the word focus? Well, to adapt to the prevailing level of light and become able to see clearly, to pay particular attention to. I mean, I feel like that's a very, effervescent explanation of focus, and I'm here for it. To adapt to the prevailing level of light and to become able to see clearly. What I can tell you is that the word clarity, simplicity, focus, like that for me has been so important in my life lately. It's been something that I have really been prioritizing, focusing on what matters, the simplicity, to pay attention to myself, my internal world, to pay attention to what matters to me. And so focus is not just about getting things done and chipping away at our to-do list, but it's really about the ability to lean into and honor what feels right for us. Okay, so we are going to do our pause and practice, as always. And I want you to just sit in your body and feel what it feels like to be focused, to escape the outside world, to let go of the noise. What does it feel like when you embody the word focus? For me, it just feels like I'm looking forward, almost like I have tunnel vision. The outside world can go on around me without me being pulled. I feel really firm and sturdy and secure. So just notice what it feels like to you when you think about and embody focus. And anytime that you're looking to focus on something and feel more focused in your life, you can come back to this embodiment. You can come back to what it felt like for you to try this on right now. And it's going to help you actually do that, right? Because we're embodying the feeling for ourselves. Okay, so take this vibration with you through our episode, through our day, through your week, for as long as you can do it. And let me tell you a little bit about focus in my life, because focus is something that I have really struggled with. Honestly, and a lot in my life, it has been a challenge. I feel so many people are struggling with today in our culture that is really setting us up to be addicted to addict our attention span and to force us to think we can multitask everything and have to multitask and that we don't have enough time. And I think so many of us are feeling so pulled in so many directions. And I think even worse is that we are so often blaming ourselves and starting this inner dialogue of I'm not doing enough, or I don't have enough willpower, or why is this so hard for me, right? So not only are we struggling to pay attention when there are all these mechanisms that are, designed to take our focus away and to keep us focused on whatever we're buying or they're selling or whatever it is. we're then blaming ourselves and saying it's just on us. Like we're not doing enough. And it's just not the case. So I've had a lot of challenges with focus in my life. I've taken medication. I've been diagnosed for attention issues in the past. And while I found that helpful for the short term and am fully acknowledged that we are all different and it can be a really great tool long-term for some as well, I knew that long-term for me, there was something more out there that I hadn't uncovered. And when it comes down to focus, there is nothing that has been more helpful for me than self-care. And it's the reason that I've come to dedicate so much of my life to it, is because when I started looking at what foods I was putting into my body and expecting myself to be fueled by, everything changed. When I started prioritizing sleep and understanding that my brain needed rest and detoxification to function at a high level, it all changed. When I got sober and paid better attention to the ways that I was disconnecting from myself and others and the world, it all changed. When I started empowering my daily actions through micro habits and dozens of small victories that I could check off, it all changed. And when I started tapping into my why and my purpose and the goals I had for myself, and I took action from that place, that empowered place, it all changed. My focus all changed more so than anything else had ever helped me before. So sure, I have many moments of distraction still, as we all do, but I also have these tools to come back to my focus whenever I need it, and to do that from this place of empowerment and not shame. And I think this is really, really important. So I want to give you a few tips when it comes to focus to really help you. And some of these are more abstract and some of them are more practical. So the first one I'm going to remind you is stop blaming yourself. It's not always an issue of not having enough willpower. We are really set up for failure with so many things that are grabbing for our attention today. Okay. So just be gentle with yourself. It's not all on you. It's not that you just aren't doing it or you can't focus as well as everyone else. Sure, there's varying levels out there, but just be more gentle with yourself and knowing that we're really set up to fail in today's modern society. Now, the good news is that we can really set ourselves up for success through gifting ourselves that same sort of dopamine that we get from the things that distract us, but instead celebrating our mini victories towards what we really want to focus on. So for me, I use this project management tool called Asana to really organize my tasks. And I love checking them off throughout the day as I focus on what really matters to me. Now, know also that our focus changes at different times in our lives, and that is normal. So asking yourself what you are focused on right now and allowing that to be right for you is also really important, because sometimes we think we have to have focus for all these different pieces of our life. And sometimes other pieces just aren't as important, right? Like I'm in a season of motherhood, and what's really most important right now is making sure my child is safe and thriving, right? And maybe what matters a little bit less to me right now is, getting strong biceps, right? I'm not saying you can't have both. However, I'm just saying understanding, okay, what's my focus right now? I'm being gentle with yourself and knowing that focuses are going to change throughout, okay? So some practical stuff. I mean, listen, set some timers. Right? So do use the Pomodoro technique to work off and on in focus blocks. Close the tabs that you have open in your brain, in your life, on your desktop, on your phone, whatever. Take breaks. People think that that's counterproductive, but the truth is every time we take a break, we come back refreshed and clear and more productive than we were before. Change the scenery. For me, I get up, I go to a co-working space one day, we'll be in the RV another day, I'll work from a different place in the house. Changing the landscape and the scenery really helps shift that creative piece of our brain so that we can focus a little bit better, okay? So there are really so many powerful ways to find and support yourself in your focus. And then I also want you to just understand that your ability to focus is going to be greatly impacted by the ways that you care for yourself, and especially the ways that you care for your brain and your mind. Okay, so practicing self-care regularly like you're doing or you wouldn't be here, building a self-care checklist. Get clear on what it takes to really help your physical vessel truly thrive, okay? Because we need to nurture our minds and our bodies to actually be able to focus and pay attention. Nothing has helped me more than doing that. I used to read the same page of a book 10 times and have no idea what I read. And changing my lifestyle, and there's a lot involved in that, has given me a type of focus that I had never experienced before. It's a beautiful thing. So, all right, let's practice. Let's practice feeling more focused together with some exercises straight from Self-Care Society classes. Now, as always, I will pause to give you a moment to think, but feel free to stop the recording if you need more time to ponder or write. You'll also hear inspiring examples from our live classes too. Join us for a full schedule of live and on-demand classes at selfcaresociety.co. All right. So our first exercise is called What Are You Focused On? And I want you to journal or think about some of the things that you're focused on in this current season of life and the future ahead. Okay. So as I said in our tips, we have different focuses at different times in life. Like, I've been an entrepreneur for a long time and business has been such a big focus for me in career. And right now, I'm just in a different season. I'm in motherhood season. When I'm recording this, I'm pregnant. I'm going to be having my second daughter, and it's just a new season. Okay. So for example, I said, right now I'm focused on my daughter, Billy, and being as present for her as possible. It's been a tough change of pace going from so much independence to parenthood, but it's so sweet and only a short period of my life. I'm focused on finding more ease in life and believing that feeling good is the true path to success. I'm focused on having more fun and flow. All right. So take a moment. What are you focused on right now? What's coming up for you as you think about where your focus is best spent at this season of life? Annie says, I'm focusing on owning my yes and feeling my own self-confidence deeply. Jess says, lately I am focused on rest, which is so surprising. I never thought that would be a focus of mine. So grateful for that. It's a sign of healing from perfectionism and overfunctioning, being a human being. And Kim says, I'm focused right now on being as present as possible for my family as my kids transition out of our home and building lives of their own. All right. So our next exercise is it's a gratitude exercise, and it's thankful for what you're feeling grateful for in life right now. Okay. So what are you feeling grateful for in life right now? Write gratitude statements to express that. Okay. So this is really simple, y'all. There's nothing complicated here. I'm going to bring you back to gratitude over and over and over again because it's such a powerful tool. So what are you feeling grateful for right now? Take a moment, pause here. What are you feeling grateful for? So for me, I said, I'm really thankful for the flexibility that my life and career give me to stay home with my daughter, work in a gentle way, and travel when we desire. I'm thankful for our beautiful home and all the space we have to spread out and feel grounded. Okay, so just a moment here, pause. What are you feeling grateful for? Stephanie says, I am grateful for my upcoming move to Wisconsin because it will allow me to be close to family and to settle in a long-term home. Mackenzie says, I'm grateful to feel my life force in my body again. It was so diminished for so long. I am grateful to be on this path of remembering. I am grateful to be in a season of stability and so much good again. Beautiful. So our next exercise is an intentionality exercise. And this is just a simple one that you can do at any moment on any day, okay? Whether you're looking at the week or the day, I want you to think about what are this week's focuses, okay? What are the top 3 focuses for this week or for this day if you want, and clarify those, okay? So it's hard to narrow it down. It's easy to make a long list of all the things that need to get done, but to narrow things down and say, these are the top 3 things that matter, my top 3 focuses is really powerful. So for me, I said, for this week, when I initially wrote this, it was spending time with my family in Newport. It was messaging. It was doing a messaging and scheduling projects, and it was organizing my calendar for the rest of the year and booking our travel. And then when I looked at my task for that specific day, I had said, I need to invoice for my partner's company. I need to review an event listing, and I want to spend time with my family in Newport. Okay, so let me give you an opportunity to just pause and say, and maybe you just do this for today, and you think about, what are the top 3 things? When I'm done listening here, the top 3 things today, what matters? What deserves my focus? What am I going to do? great work. So our next exercise is an affirmation exercise called self-affirmations worth focusing on. Okay. So I want you to affirm yourself by focusing on some of the great things about you. I want you to write a list as a reminder that you can carry with you of all the good things that you can focus on instead of letting those negative voices creep in, because I know they do, as hard as we try. So for example, I said, I am someone who loves to learn and always goes all in when I'm excited about something. I care deeply about others and I'm always doing what I can to help someone. And I'm a fair person who always tries to see the various sides to a circumstance. And I'm a loyal friend. Okay, so for you, what are some of those affirmative statements that you can focus on, these things that are great about you? Right, Stephanie says, I am a go-getter. I am great at getting things done. Mackenzie says, I'm kind to myself and others. My care for this world is felt in every interaction. I take risks that lead to growth and adventure. I am reasonable. Beautiful. So our next exercise is a clarity exercise called Your Big Dream Divided. Okay, so I'm going to encourage you to think about a big goal of yours, a big dream. It can be something that you've always dreamed of, or just simply a task that is a priority for the week. And you could write it down and then, or think about it, right? And then what I want you to do is think about some of the baby steps that you can do to get there. Okay, so this is how we really empower ourselves to focus and make progress, is instead of having this big looming goal or desire or task, when we break it down into these doable pieces, we really help ourselves actually integrate it and get there in our life. Okay, so what is the goal? The dream, whatever it is. And then how can you break it down? What are some small steps that would support you in this dream? Okay, so for example, maybe my goal is that I want to plan our travel for the rest of the year. Okay, so some things I can do so that I don't just put that on a list and that feels overwhelming. Well, I can get my calendar organized as a whole, and then I can decide when and how many trips we'd like to take. I can get a feel for my partner's work schedule, so I know kind of how to work around that. I can connect with family and friends to find dates that might work for some of the visits and holidays and the times that we'll get together. I can do a self-inventory. I can really ask what would feel nourishing and fun right now. I can make a budget. I can narrow down some destinations, and I can discuss with my family. Okay, so think about a goal and think about at least 3 ways that you could make progress towards that in small ways. Okay, so Jess says her goal is to host a party at their house. She says that she can learn how to mow the lawn. She can look at dates. She can create an invite. She can think about the experience and what would make it great. She can cast a wide net and accept that people will be unavailable, and then they can just host another one whenever the time comes. Okay, so beautiful ways to break down these big projects. And this is something I do really consistently, empowering myself to use small wins to really have positive momentum in life. Okay, so as you go into your day, I really want you to just remind yourself that there are so many ways that you can support yourself in feeling more focused. It's not about waiting around for that moment to strike. It's about creating focus for yourself and trying new things until something fits. Okay, so I want you to release the expectation that you will be able to focus all the time. I want you to even really practice honoring those days or those moments when your body is asking for something different than working on a project or staring at a screen or studying for a test or whatever it is that's demanding your attention. And I want you to just remember that lasting change comes through empowerment, not shame, okay? So be gentle with yourself as you navigate each day, learning more and more about how to best care for you, okay? It's a worthwhile focus, I can assure you that. So thank you for joining me today on your morning mindset practice. I really hope you're feeling more focused, and I'd love to have you join us at selfcaresociety.co for a live or on-demand class so you can stay consistent with your self-care, connect with other like-minded people, and continue filling your cup so you can overflow onto the world. We need you. See you next time.